What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Swing for the Fences show, joined by my boy AP, myself. Hoop will be on his way. He had to fix the Weiss flat tire, which is right down the road. He got a call, had to get out there, fix it up. He'll be in here sometime joining us. AP and I will be breaking it down until then. Nice little slate, AP. 11 games. We're right back in the swing of things from the All-Star break. It's been a minute since I've been here for sure. It feels like an eternity since I've been on the last show, MMA on Friday, but hosting a show like this, I missed it for sure. Vacation, come back right into the All-Star break. All-Star breaks, it's always a nice time. It's a little relaxing. I went on the golf course a little bit, could do stuff, but man, I love what I do. Every single day I look forward to the routine of building lineups, sweating it out and all that. So I don't like All-Star breaks, to be honest. It was a nice one a little bit, but I'm excited to be back in action. Pretty good MLB slate on this Monday. AP, what's going on? How was your little break? I saw BigT was up there joining you. Any similar thoughts when it comes to All-Star breaks? NBA one really kills me because I love it I love NBA on every single night. When there's no football or something on a Wednesday, I'm like, what do I do with myself? Baseball, a little easier. I was in the underdog and DraftKings best ball drafts, but what are your thoughts on that as well?
Yeah, I mean, NBA, I'm always struggling a little bit just because I love that sport. My favorite sport by far. I mean, that in football, obviously. MLB, I'm usually like fine with it. I'm like always ready for a little break.
It's beautiful outside, so that makes it easier too.
Use that time to get some stuff done, just business wise, and then got some, Tony and Big T, Amber, they're out with their kids. We got Big T on the course finally, and I mean, every time I go out on Twitter and I post, my scorecard, never looks pretty, but I'm telling you, this course is tough. Big T made us play from the tips, almost broke 100. That would have been like I would have. I mean, outside of a couple holes, I was playing really good. Like I started with a par, then I make a snowman, and then I make a couple pars after that. And then it just, man, the course gets so tough. It's a target course, and they're set up for the state amps, which is going on right now. And, I don't feel so bad because there was a guy in the state am, which you got to be like, not scratch, but the rules are you got to be at least like a 4 or 5 handicap or something like that. There's a kid out there on pace to shoot 100. So very much in line with me. And I'm definitely not a scratch golfer anywhere near. But, Big T, I mean, he admitted it was a tough course. We had a good time, though. It was a good all-star break. I'm ready to get back into it, though. I mean, we got the slate tonight. The word in Discord this morning being used to describe this one as greasy. And I gotta agree with that. I mean, this is a very greasy slate as far as pitching goes. There could be a ton of volatility tonight. The last time Manea was chalk, I mean, it wasn't good at all. I faded him. A little bit tougher of a spot here against Detroit, but still, it's going to be an interesting slate.
Yeah, no, it definitely will be. Well, first about talking about the golf, I'm definitely the guy well in the hundreds for sure. I mean, 120 might even be a good one for me. I'm definitely not good. I mean, golf is so hard. Like you hit one bad shot and that par or bogey or whatever you're going for can easily turn into an 8 and a 9. Just one shot ruins the whole hole.
I mean, title, like we don't do, like a lot of people out there will do like breakfast balls and mulligans.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Fluff up their ball and stuff like that. No, we don't. I on number 2, I hit it OB. I re-teed. A lot of people would go and take the yardage. We played straight up.
I re-tee as well because I love to try.
It results in high scores. It is what it is, but it makes you better. Anytime I go out and now play like a public course, it's like way easier after playing Firethorn as many times as I have. So.
Yeah, no, it's always a good time. That's what I go out there to do. You can have some drinks, ride around in the golf cart, drink some. So yeah, it's always a good time. A lot of people in chat, familiar faces. I really miss the people. Bill Miner, Gator Nation said building lineups at American Family Field right now. Love it, Gator. Even I don't know what that is. I know Miller Park. I don't know what American Family Field is. Mike Spencer, we got Landa, Nadesify, Brian, Junior, Baseball Dad, Derek, a ton of familiar faces in chat. We appreciate all of you hanging out with us. Excited to be back on the grind. Hit the like button for us as always, please. Hit that big red subscribe button. We always do appreciate it. In the chat, you guys are what makes this show fun. If I see a comment in there to engage with, go ahead, AP.
I thought we lost you for a second.
Oh no, my Wi-Fi's better.
Oh, it might be me actually. I'm hopefully.
I see some three red bars down by your thing right now, but
it looks like it's better now. But we'll see.
I was gonna say, usually in the past, way back in the day before I got a new computer and stuff, I had some struggles with the internet. Mine has been good as of late, so knock on wood for that. Hoop will be joining hopefully pretty soon. But yeah, I say we dive right into it. 11 games. Greasy was the name that chat used. Greasy's a great word. I love the word greasy. And Greasy in this slate, man, pitcher, it's kind of open. I think like Manaea is going to get some ownership for sure. A couple spots, maybe. Manaea has not been a clear ace though this year at all. So I think there's ways you can get different at pitching and hitting too. Couple spots that I think are pretty solid, but I don't think there's clear chalk. The good lineups, I think Dodgers, the Braves, all that, you have to pay for some of the bats you want. So I think there's a lot of ways you can go on this slate. I'm excited to dive in, hear your thoughts, hear Hoop's thoughts when he gets in, but we'll go right to pitching. AP. Let's go. We'll go AK and above. Max Fried at 10.5, Gonsolin at 10.2, Sean Manaea price discount at 8.8. The three top guys really. Nick Pivetta, Kluber, Mary Kelly was released named the starter not too long ago. I don't think you'll have too much interest in the Klubers, the Pivettas of the world. If you do, let me know. But Manaea, Gonsolin, Fried, it's worth talking about them. Before I actually throw it to you real quick, weather concerns on this slate. We're going to assume all the games do play on this show because we are a couple hours out. But you do have to look at, I think, Philly and Atlanta. You have to monitor a little bit, maybe a delay. Max Fried, we just talked about. I think Boston's the biggest concern against Cleveland. Again, I'm going to assume they all are playing right now, but it's not a slate where you can just forget weather exists. We do have to look at it a little bit. We'll be in Discord up to lock show. We'll talk about it as well. But AP, 8K and above, talk about pitching.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough. Like, man, Pivetta, the Guardians, they don't strike out. Corey Kluber, there's going to be his third rotation facing the Orioles in the matter of like a month. And while he had one decent outing, he didn't look as strong the last time he faced him back on the 17th. And this Orioles team, they're pretty pesky. So very concerned there. Gonsolin, I don't know if I want to go there either, paying 10-2 for him. Max Fried, very interesting play. I think he's the best real life pitcher on this slate. He doesn't get a lot of strikeouts, which for DFS purposes is a concern, but I'm going to leave him in my player pool. I'm going to give him a fair projection. I'm not going to over project him or anything like that. I'm going to give him a fair projection, and we'll see if he lands in my builds. How I see things setting up is very similar to the last time Manaea. Well, which one is it? I always forget.
I say Manaea. Maybe I even mix it up.
It doesn't matter. I say Manaea. I'm going to fade his ass tonight, most likely. And now, okay. So like in tournaments, I like to get different. The last time we saw him in this spot, he was like 40-50% owned, and he put out a negative score. Detroit's been like, look, over the last 30 days, they've been, I'm not going to like say they're good or anything like that. Not good. But they've been better, especially against lefties. You got Eric Haas. I don't even know if we have a lineup out yet, but based off the projected lineup, they got some guys that are lefty mashers for sure. So that's going to be my primary leverage spot on this slate. And now it's like, okay, well, who are you playing? Well, there's going to be more options down in this duskier range. But like my initial plan at this point in time, make a big, bold fade on Manaea, who I think is going to be chalk. And then open up the pool a little bit, try to get the right combination, and just hope that Manaea ends up as chalk and ends up busting.
Yeah, no, I don't mind that approach at all. I mean, you look at it, he has not, look at his game log this year. He's definitely I always say Manaea now that I think about it a little more. You look at the game log, there's a lot of scores in there that aren't going to be on the optimal lineup. 8,800 is a price discount from Fried, from Gonsolin, and for the name of Manaea. 5.5 strikeout prop. You look at strikeout props. Max Fried leads the slate 5.5 with like -115 on the over, which shows we're not expecting a lot from our pitchers for strikeout wise, which I think there are some lower options you can get to. But I totally understand what you're saying for Manaea. People are going to look at that price tag, look at the difference from Fried, and just gravitate there. I think he ends up as the highest owned pitcher on the slate, and I don't mind the fade at all. Detroit's not great by any means, but I think they're okay, at least. I think they're a little better than what they have been 2 months ago, so to speak. They do have their lineup out. Eric Haas is in there. Baez in the 2-hole. There's Riley Green, Scope in the 6-hole. Lineup's definitely not great by any means, but I don't think Manaea is as good this year and as of late as 40% owned, 45% owned, or whatever we see on the slate. So I like that for GPPs. Before we get into the lower range, Reezer in chat, I'm surprised you are the first one, Reezer, to ask what is on Title's forehead. Maybe a lot of people are watching the MMA show, but you can see right there, it's all scabbed right now. On Wednesday, I was hooping a little bit, caught I don't even know if it was a elbow. It was like collided with someone, split it open, put a little butterfly bandage on there, and now it's all scabbed up. So now it's just healing. So that is what is on my forehead, keeping my my hair out from it. But let's see. Gonsolin over 5.5 or Manaea over 5.5. Thoughts the Prince says. I think he's talking about strikeouts. Any lean there? Gonsolin, Manaea. I mean, you don't like Manaea, so take it you like the under a little bit. Gonsolin, the strikeout prop at 5. Any leans on that, Quicks? There's a comment in chat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any strong lean on those. I mean, it, you could get them. I guess, from a DFS standpoint, it's just I struggle to see how like Manaea isn't, chalk here against the Tigers. But the last note I had on him, and then we'll go to the next range title, is so he throws a fast sinker. That's his primary pitch, 65% of the time, I believe. Man, the Tigers, that's a pitch they can hit. Baez, man, he can get down there and he can lift it. Haas, Grossman, Scope, all of those guys can hit that pitch. Even Harold Castro has decent numbers against it. And Riley Green, too, while it's a lefty-lefty matchup, and he hasn't been as strong in those matchups. I just think Riley Green is one of the more talented guys that they have on this not so talented roster, outside of Yavi there. So I'm gonna have some Detroit stacks here against Chalk Manaea, just like I had in his last outing. If he beats me, he beats me. Congratulations, Chalk. But I'm gonna bet against him again.
Yeah, no, I don't mind that at all. And I think why you can do that, you said you had a little interest in free, but we come down below 8K. I'm going to say 7K all the way up to 7-9. You look in that range. I mean, it's Aaron Ashby there against a Colorado team I'm never worried about. Talk about inconsistent, though. The guy's stuff is pretty solid. His strikeouts are always there. 4.5 with -150 on the over. One of the highest on the slate for the price. He can be wild, though, which is definitely a concern, but he's 7-7. JT Brewer-Baker on this slate. He gets this Cubs team I'm not worried about at all. Good pitching weather. You get Jake Odorizzi against this awful Oakland team. I think this range is pretty interesting. The 7K to 7.9K. Talk about this range, JP.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, but we have more concerns in this range. Like Jacob Junis, I don't see them pushing him tonight. With the limited reps that he has. So you got to imagine that he's going to be on some type of count. Odorizzi, this is going to be the third time he's faced the A's back to back to back. Now, we always talk about that scenario. I think with good pitchers, you can go right back to them. I think as the quality of pitching goes down, or your more average pitchers, I give the advantage to the hitters. I don't have any stats to back that up or anything like that. I just think it kind of makes sense. Now it's the A's, though. I mean, it's like, man, they're a dusty team. I'm going to have him in my pool. I just don't like him that much. JT Brubaker was a guy that a lot of people were talking about in chat this morning. One of the better xFIPs on the slate, a stat I look at, 3.9. And I'm looking over his last 30 days. 26% strikeout rate, pretty good command, pretty decent at limiting hard hits. I'm going to have some interest in Brubaker. And then actually Ranger Suarez. So I know Gary's probably watching, was making fun of me earlier, already told me in Discord, always tomorrow. He could be right, Gary. You could be right. And you know what? There is always tomorrow. It's DFS. It's what I love about it. If I'm wrong today, I'll be back at it tomorrow. But Ranger Suarez actually has the slate leading xFIP over the range I'm looking at, short-term data, 3.2, a 25% strikeout rate, 4% walks. Very, very impressive. And all I see in Discord lately, is people bitching about this Braves team constantly. Braves never again. Braves never again. So you know what? I'm going to have some interest in playing Ranger Suarez against the Braves, who are kind of struggling outside of like Riley and it's Riley and Olsen. Those are like the only two dudes that are hitting right now on this Braves team. They're fine. Everyone else is cold. So I have a little bit of interest in Suarez.
Yeah, I like it for sure. Definitely a nice range. You'll get Ranger Suarez definitely lower on. More people will be on their Braves than him, I think. We got Hoopster back. Hoop, how was the flat tire? Did you do a K-Valley? Put it on the wrong way? Ass crack hanging out? Talk about it.
Oh, God, yeah, disaster. So I clicked on the link to hop into the show, and the wife calls me. She's like, got a flat tire. She's like a mile away from the house. I'm like, well, that's not good because I'm not very handy. I have changed a few flats in my day. Don't get me wrong. But I was like, just drive it home. I was like, you're a mile away. She's like, no, seriously, it's like all the way flat. It's all the way down. I get there. I put the picture on Twitter. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet.
I'll
It
check
is
it right
like,
now.
it has to be like a 4-inch screw that went in the back of her tire and out the side. I mean, just a massive, massive screw. But the situation has been rectified, so we're back in business.
Ooh, yeah, I see that.
Do you see that thing?
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
big.
almost, yeah, that thing is massive. But we're back in business.
So you
and,
fixed it? You got on the hands and knees, you put the
I
spare on?
was hoping you didn't ask that question.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
I was hoping you didn't ask that question. man.
I'm not saying I would have done it either, but
So,
I was too
it-
busy. I was too busy looking at the black. Is it black on black on black? You got the black.
Yeah, it's all
rims
black. She's
and,
got one of the-
Yeah,
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, she got one of the Explorers that's all blacked out, and yeah, now I think that tire's got to be done for sure. In terms of fixing the tire, let me see. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. So I got to the scene.
now that you're already debating it,
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
make
so
sure.
I got to the scene, and her second call after me was her dad, who's very handy. He's one of those guys. He has a big like F-350. Like in the winter when people get stuck in snow, he's pulling them out. If you see someone with a flat tire, he's pulling over, helping them. I got there. I started. I brought gloves. I got the jack. I was ready to roll, and he knows me too well. He's like, "Step aside. I got this. Go back and do your show." So that's kind of where we're at.
There you go. Hey, I would have been doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You should ask the wife, why was I the first call? Why wasn't the other way around?
Yeah, he knows his father, or he knows his son-in-law too well. He's like, just go do your show. He's like, I got this.
There you go. That's definitely nice. He'll figure that out. We didn't get too far. We were talking pitching. I'll just 10-5 Max Fried all the way down to 7K. You'll be completely caught up. Hoop. Mania looks to be the chalk at 8-8. There's Fried at 10-5. Get some ownership. That we're talking that mid 7K range. Brew Baker, Ashby, Odorizzi, Ranger Suarez for AP. Pitching's pretty spread out. I think hitting is too. It's definitely an interesting 11-game slate. What are your thoughts at pitching 7K and above?
Yeah, pitching's pretty simple for me today. I'm not really prioritizing anything. I mean, there's some days where we really lock it in and, say we want this pitcher or that pitcher, or, we're just going to build around a couple pitchers. Today is not the case for me. I'm making my teams offensively and seeing what I can get. I'm not prioritizing anyone. I do think Sean Manaea will be the most popular, but man, like I've played a lot of him this season. He's just not as good as people think, I guess. And I don't know, like he hasn't had any phenomenal games.
Yeah, we were saying that too. He's definitely underachieved, and he's been chalked multiple times.
Yeah, his ceiling's like low 20s. Like, last year he was definitely a guy that could get into the 30s. That being said, like if I have him on a majority of my teams, I'm probably good with it just because the Tigers offense is not great. He's favored here. So fine with him. I don't really see myself getting up to the, Gonsolin or Fried. Did you guys have any interest in Fried?
AP did a little bit. I mean, that is something to monitor weather a little bit. I think Boston's just the only one, but I think it's interesting. I mean, there's enough cheap hitters on the slate. I think SP2 you can go a little lower on. If you told me Manaea is 40%, Fried's 25, I would take that 15% difference and find my way is how I look at it. I don't know if ownership's going to be that big of a difference. So
yeah, Fried just seems like probably like the safest option.
I mean, it's so crazy. He has the highest strikeout prop in the slate, 5.5 minus 115 on the over. Like,
it's crazy.
You can make 14 work at pitching today. I think Bass will win the slate is how I see it.
Yeah, I mean, give me 30 fantasy points at pitcher. I'll take it and run like all day. So, if I can get to Fried in some lineups, I'm fine. Manaea, and then after Manaea, I'm coming all the way down to that range that you just kind of talked about. Odorizzi, Ashby, Brew Baker are the three I'm looking at in that mid tier. Good with all three of those guys. No strong lean or preference between any of them, to be honest. I'm cool playing any three of those guys. And then after that, not much. I would be willing, I think, to take some shots on Greinke. You look at the recent performance, it's been pretty okay. 3 out of his last 5 games, at least 17 fantasy points, which again on the slate's good. And he gets this Angels offense, which is not very good right now after like Ohtani and Ward. So slight interest in him. I mean, I really don't want to go there. What do you guys say about those 7K guys? Did you have a strong lean there at all?
I think Ashby is going to come in with the most ownership. So therefore, just in GPPs, Brewer Baker is probably my favorite. Not worried about the Cubs team. Pretty good pitching weather. Then probably I'd go Odorizzi just because I think Ashby's going to be the highest owned. Now, if I'm wrong with my ownership and Brewer Baker is the highest owned, then I'd probably put Ashby there. I kind of just like playing the ownership game, mixing, matching of those three. But AP like Ranger Suarez too is going to be very low owned in that range. And I did want to touch on or go to, you mentioned Greinke, which I wanted to bring up. I was going to get to AP with Greinke. Obviously, as the Royals guy, I never play Zach Greinke in DFS, but strikeout props on the whole slate is really, really low. Greinke's 3.5, like -170 on the over, which I mean, he doesn't strike anyone out, but it doesn't look like too many pitchers on this slate will be. He's 5.9K. Like if you go a Max Fried and a Zach Greinke, I think that's a pretty unique setup, and you can still play a lot of bats. What are your thoughts as the Kansas City guy, AP, on Greinke?
Yeah, I mean, so with Greinke, you're like, look, you're relying on a couple things. I mean, this Angels team strikes out a ton. What they do yesterday? They went off yesterday, right? Destroyed the Braves.
To be honest, I couldn't even tell you. I played.
They hit up. Was it Ian Anderson that?
Ian Anderson. So
I had negative in my lineup for that reason.
Yeah, that's why I forgot about it.
So, like the thing that's different is Greinke like gets it done with like smoke and mirrors. I mean, this dude's like a magician out there when he's dealing, if you want to call it that. So like I think, maybe I think it goes one of two ways. I think he gets destroyed or he gets you like maybe 13 to 15 range, which we'd all be very content with on this slate. So I have Greinke in my pool tonight. I'm going to have a little bit of him. I'm going to have a larger pitching pool. I'm MMEing tonight. And my one strong fade, as I said earlier, I'm going to fade Manaea and get leverage. And then I'm going to open up the pitching pool a little bit and try to mix and match the right combination for some of these guys down in the 7K range. And honestly, I think I might end up fading Max Fried and just to remove him, because I could see a combination of like a Brubaker, Greinke, I like Suarez, Tito. Who did you say? I had him in my pool as well.
Are you talking Brubaker, Odorizzi, Ashby?
Ashby, another one that I would include in the pool there. I just think some combination there. I mean, I see it as this way. Like I think maybe one or two of those guys gets blown up, but I do think a few of them perform. So I'm gonna have a bigger pitching pool. Go a little bit wider there, but I'm gonna make some big stands on the projected chalk, fading them. Have some stacks against them, mainly Detroit. I like some of these righties against the lefty Manaea, and that's kind of how I'm going to play it.
Yeah, I like it. I'll admit, my Ranger Suarez probably is $100 cheaper. Chris Flexen right there at 7.2K. Now that whole 7K range is, I think he's going to be forgotten. I think Ranger Suarez is going to be forgotten. I think it's Ashby, Brubaker, Odorizzi, but we always love playing pitchers in Seattle. The strikeout prop, you look, it's actually not too bad. 4.5, -120 on the over. He's supposed to win. They're like, what, -155 on the money line. Seattle against his Texas team. I think he's a little interesting. Chris Flexen as a pivot in that range. He'd, like I said, be my Ranger Suarez, a little more ownership. Got to talk about Joey Work, though. He's in chat giving a little free winner. He said, lock in Merrill Kelly and thank me later. Now, Merrill Kelly was he was announced as a starter an hour ago for Tyler Gilbert, who got scratched. He is expensive on this slate at 8.5K. Perfect pivot in the same range from Sean Manaea. And then I didn't even read what he said. He said, I shouldn't give this out for free, but the last 5 times the Giants played on the road, back-to-back series, in game 1 of the second series, they scored a total of 2 runs in the first 5. I don't even know exactly what I just read. That was a lot of numbers, a lot of good stuff, Joey Work. But hey, Merrill Kelly, very low ownership, is the pivot from Sean Manaea. Joey Work, I'm rolling with you on that. I think that's an interesting GPP play. AP, I'll go to you first. You're not playing Fried. You're not playing Manaea. You think you could get to a little Merrill Kelly as a low on pivot?
Yeah, let me add in just how bad that. So it's crazy. The Giants were a team I was looking at, but it was against the projected lefty. Their numbers against lefties are just, ridiculous. There is the pinch hit risk, obviously, but against righties, you're talking 81 ISO, like 250 WOBA over the last 30 days. I love the call. I'm with Joey Work, Merrill Kelly. Sign me up.
Who? What are your thoughts on little low on Merrill Kelly?
Yeah, don't necessarily hate it. I mean, Giants were a team early on in the season that I didn't really like taking pitchers against. A lot of pesky guys in that lineup, a lot of guys that will extend at bats, but just has not been the case lately. I'm interested for sure in some Merrill Kelly.
Yeah, I like it. So that is all pitching. We touched on it a lot. I'm gonna say we're gonna rank them. I'm gonna say top 4 pitchers, since I do think there are a lot of options today. Hoop, I'll start with you. Point per dollar, how much you think you'll have the most ownership for? Give me your top 4.
Yeah, probably Odorizzi. I will play Manaea. I don't feel comfortable with it though. I don't necessarily hate some Tigers stacks, which we'll get into when we talk about it. I'm fine playing Manaea. I'm fine picking on them as well. And then Ashby and I like the Brubaker call, and I did have Flexen in there too, title. So I agree with you on that at 7-2. I mean, pretty sizable favorite here. Can he get us like 14, 15, which is kind of what I'm looking for on the slate? I think he can do it.
Yeah, I like it for sure. AP, give me your top 4.
Yeah, I mean, very difficult for me to do right now. I'm still trying to like whittle down my pool. Brubaker definitely will be in there. Suarez again. It's going to be a very contrarian take for me at pitching today. I could even see like Greinke being in there, and man, I'll throw. I'll throw Merrill Kelly in there as well. I mean, I'm going to get different at pitching today, and that's just going to be one of my main stands for sure.
So quick question for both of you before we get into it. I know Hoop, I think kind of mentioned, or was it, I can't even remember if it was you or Hoop. You're going to start with I think it was you, Hoop. You're going to start with batters, fill out a pitcher. You have a lot of ranges. AP, you kind of thinking the same thing. Get your stacks in. You like pitchers in multiple ranges and fill it out that way, or you still think you'll fill in pitcher first?
Yeah, for me, it's kind of the one thing I love about Saber is you can like increase the team totals, decrease them or whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to mess around with the projections too much at pitching. I'm just going to eliminate the guys that I want to fade. Everyone else I'm going to keep in there, maybe make some minor adjustments, but then I'm going to, play around with the totals. The teams I like more, I'm going to give them a few bumps. The teams I like less, I'm going to bump them down. It's going to be my route tonight.
I like it. That is pitching on this 11-game slate. Corey Pooler in chat said Kelly on Uncle T's playbook as well. Yeah, make sure you go check out Uncle T's playbook. He had a nice win in golf a couple weeks ago, riding a little heater. I saw him in YouTube chat right now. So go check over Uncle T's playbook. It's on the site as always. If you're not a member, you do want to see that. You do want to listen to the premium show. You do want the Wednesday golf premium show, all of our premium content. You do have to be a member. RPS Heater 25 gets you 25% off. And if you do join, make sure you get in the Discord too. Always a great time. Knowledgeable members, coordinators, talking all different kinds of sports, all different times of the day. So RPS Heater 25 gets you 25% off. We got 525 watching right now, 170 likes. It's solid. I haven't really asked too much. 300 is the number we're going to need though. So do us a favor, please. Hit that like button, please. Hit that big red subscribe button. 300 should be very easy. We appreciate it. I don't want to keep asking. We always appreciate it. Let's go game by game. First game of the day. Tampa Bay Rays, the Baltimore Orioles, Corey Kluber and Austin Voth on the mound. AP, I'll start with you. Any bats on Rays or Baltimore that you like?
Yeah, so Kluber recently faced Baltimore. This is going to be his third go at him. And Baltimore got to him last time out. This team, I like this team. They're pesky. Mullins right there, batting leadoff. Rushman's been hitting better. You got Santander, who I like. This is going to be one of the teams I'm stacking up. As long as we don't have any weather concerns, I'm not afraid of Kluber at all. Not a pitcher I'm going to be playing in this spot. So they're going to be definitely one of the teams that I stack up. The one thing I will say is I'd be curious about your guys' opinion on this. Like, I don't know how many like true 5-man stacks I'm going to have today. A lot of times on certain slates, I do like that to make that a rule. I don't know if I'm going to make it a hard rule today. I just see this being such a random slate that I want to embrace some of the variants that I think we're going to experience tonight.
I'm always a 5-man stack guy in GPPs. It doesn't matter any of the slate. Personally, Hoop, thoughts on that? I mean, it makes sense. Like, it's a little difficult picking up one 5-man stack you feel really comfortable with, but I always approach it. I want to hit the ceiling. I want the team that does score 10+ runs. What are your thoughts on that, Hoop? Do you think it's a 3-3-2 certain stuff, or are you just going to still 5-man?
Yeah, I always to 5-man. I'm with you. So I will be 5-manning this game specifically, though. Not a ton of interest for me. This Luke Raleigh is 2.1K. I think you can keep him in there as a punt. But yeah, I'm not going to be playing much of this game at all.
What about this next one? Atlanta Braves, Philadelphia Phillies, Max Fried, Ranger Suarez on the mound. Braves have a decent implied total. It's definitely not as high as it's been recently. 83 degrees in Philly. Pretty good hitting weather, it looks like. Braves, Philly. Any thoughts, Hoop, for bets?
Yeah, I like some Atlanta bats here on the road, guaranteed to get the full 9 innings at bat. Definitely Riley stands to the top of the list for me. Acuna, strong play. You are paying a premium, though. I mean, these are some big boy price tags, but we don't have the pitching that we have to prioritize today either. Good price tag on Ozuna, 3.8K, batting 6, could potentially keep his ownership down a little bit. You have the double catcher. Travis d'Arnaud is going to be much higher owned than William Contreras. Contreras worst lineup spot and higher price tag. So Contreras, I think, is a good contrarian play. Yeah, I'm interested in Atlanta. The bottom of this lineup could be pretty tasty. Harris, lefty. I think a lot of people will be off him at 4.7K, and not many people have the balls to play a 4.7K 9 hitter. So a very interesting play there. But yeah, I'll have a lot of Atlanta, and then not gonna be messing around with Phillies here against Fried.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what stood out to me right away. Michael Harris. I always talk about how he's been my favorite Brave to stack. Took him 2 months to finally raise the price tag. We always talk about it, though, baseball. Like, there's no better sport to overspend than in baseball, because all it takes is the one home run or a couple stolen bases, all that. And price tags don't matter at all. Man, I mean, this is more probably if you're going to Greinke, a Brewer Baker, Ashby, you're living in the lower range a little bit. William Contreras, Arcia fills out second base, Michael Harris in the outfield. Wrap it around. It's expensive for sure, but there's enough cheap pitchers on the slate. And that would be like, if you want to stack Atlanta, you want to get the big bats. That's when you go back to pitching, you can find the cheap options. And there's always cheap bats to fill out the rest of your lineup. So yeah, I think the lower half of the Braves to wrap around, they're expensive, but they'll be low owned. I think it's a little interesting. AP, I know you won't be on them though. You like yourself, little Ranger Suarez. Any Phillies against Max Fried, or just a total pass for bets?
Yeah, I just see this being kind of like a little pitcher duel here. The Braves, they're starting to cool off. Every team goes through these periods. Okay, I don't care how good you are. We already saw with the Dodgers earlier this year. The best teams, they still go through these cold periods. I think the Braves are in one of those periods right now. Especially against lefties, they've really struggled. If you take, except for 2 guys, Matt Olson and Riley, those guys are continuing to smash. Everyone else, though, is ice cold. So I think we see a boring game here. I think Suarez gets it done. He's not like a guy I like or anything. I think his metrics look good, especially recently. So he should come in with some motivation here against a Braves team that's been cooling off. I hope they're popular. I'll be off of them. And then I'm not. The thing about Max Fried, he's giving up 6 home runs on the season. I mean, this dude is impossible to hit. I mean, he's not afraid of pitching into contact, but he's just such a good real life pitcher, relies on his defense, very smart, knows the batters he's going to be facing and where they struggle. So I expect this to be a battle, and I don't think we're going to see a lot of runs tonight.
Yeah, definitely makes some sense. Let's get to the next game on the slate. The Cleveland Guardians, the Boston Red Sox, Zach Plesac and Nick Pivetta on the mound. This does look like the biggest weather concern. Again, I'm going to go based on everything should play. I really do think everything will play. We're still 2 hours out to lock, though. Discord up to lock show. You have to monitor weather, though. Man, a 9.5 total, over 80 degrees, wind blowing out a little bit. Pivetta hasn't been any good recently. Plesac, I'm not too worried about. The problem is this Boston team, their lineup, I don't think they could have rolled out a worse lineup. Could Boston have? No Rafael Devers, no JD Martinez. Now, with saying that, there's a lot of cheap options. The bottom half of the order, Duran 3.5 leading off, Res Snyder 2.9, Bradley, Dalbec, Yolmer Sanchez. If you want a cheap 3-man, even 5-man, I guess if you want to do it, Boston you can look to. However, that lineup is not nearly as appealing as it could be. I like these Cleveland Guardians, though, man. Guaranteed ninth inning at bat at Fenway Park. If this game plays, Pivetta hasn't been great. And K. Fleet Burner, my man, what's going on, K. Fleet? He said, would you guys leave JSURab out of the Cleveland stack? My approach to that, the only way I would really do that is if he was just uber chalk and the rest of the lineup really wasn't. I think that'd be the case. I'm a big JSURab guy, though. I talk about all the time. He's my favorite DFS player, really. So I personally probably wouldn't. Hoop, I'll go to you. Touch on this game and then touch on that question.
Like on this slate, like why would you need to leave him off?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I don't get it. You know, if there's pitchers that you want to prioritize, the only time I'd leave the top bat in a stack, leave him off, is if you're prioritizing pitching or something.
Mine would just be like if he's really chalky, like that's the only hitter. I mean, but even then, if I'm full 5-man, the answer I probably would not leave off Jose Ramirez if I'm 5-manning. 3-manning, sure. 5-manning, I can't.
What are the odds of Cleveland being on the winner and, you know, Jose Ramirez being the guy that, you know, does not do well in the lineup?
It's baseball. That's what I always tell myself.
Exactly. It might happen 5, 10, 15% of the time or something where like you don't need Jose Ramirez and Cleveland's winner. But man, more times than not, like.
But if Cleveland puts up 13 and you get cute just because you faded him, and
that might happen like that. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that might happen like 10% of the time when you stack Cleveland and they're on the winner. So more times than not, you're going to want Jose Ramirez in there. Agree with your title. Like I have interest in Cleveland here. I have an interest in Boston too. You know, Boston, I look at this lineup, maybe more mini stacks. So honestly, I don't know if I see the upside in this Boston lineup to just go out and win a slate. You know, I see that in the Cleveland side. I look at their team. I see multiple guys that can go off, you know, Jose Ramirez, Josh Naylor, Reyes, Jimenez, Kwan has had some big games. Like I see guys that could win GPPs. When I look at Boston, I don't know if I necessarily see that. So it's probably going to be more mini stacks on Boston, lineup filler guys because they're cheap. I mean, you got Duran up there, you got Russ Snyder, Verdugo, the top three all under 3,800 on FanDuel. Frenchie Cordero, 2.3K, the bottom of the lineup, absolutely free. So probably more 3-mans for me on the Boston side. I'm good with a full Cleveland stack, though. I like this team, and it is going to include Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, Cleveland's one of my favorite stacks on this slate for sure. AP, touch on this game at Fenway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you guys on the Guardians. My one, like, what I could see like tilting us is, let's just say, so the big risk here is like a delay in game with some storms going into that area. I want a full Cleveland stack against Pivetta. He's been terrible. He's been absolutely terrible. If we get any type of delay there, if they take him out, turns into a bullpen game, I think that could take the heat out of the game. That'd be my one concern. Outside of that, though, I definitely have interest in the Guardians here. Man, this Red Sox lineup is terrible. Like you said, I'm not going to be playing them. If there's no weather concerns, I would have interest in Plesac, actually, against a watered-down Red Sox lineup.
Yeah, no, that's a good point about the weather for sure. I mean, I want to pick on Pivetta, not a bullpen game really. So we'll be monitoring weather in Discord, all of that, but definitely a good point you added. Before we get to the next game, 210 likes right now. It's solid. It's solid. 300 is the number we're going to need, though. Not 299, not 298. I know some people have said in the past. 300 for the plays of the day. We still got plenty of games left. Doesn't take much effort. Little click on the screen, that thumbs up button, another click on that big red subscribe button on the bottom right. Everyone is happy. We appreciate it. Breaking down this MLB slate. We're here, 7 days a week. Now we have Saturday shows all the time. AP's on here and stuff. 7 days a week, we're on here breaking down these games. So we appreciate it. 2 seconds out of your day. Let's get to the next game, though. Interested to see both of you guys. Padres, Tigers, Manaea and Drew Hutchinson on the mound. I mean, man, talk about bad pitchers. Drew Hutchinson is absolutely cheeks. Now, this Padres team and their Padres lineup, definitely not nearly as good as it has been in the past when the Tatis of the world and stuff a year ago, 2 years ago, and this was one of the best lineups to stack. But Hutchinson's so bad, guaranteed ninth inning at bats. I like some Padres. You guys are talking with the Tigers against Manaea. Got to start with you, AP, since you won't be playing them at all. Talk about this game for bets.
Yeah, I have a ton of interest in this game. I like the Detroit side and the Padres side here. It's always a good get right spot against the Tigers. They just, they're kind of like the Royals, no pitching. Teams like to abuse them. So, the Padres, Machado, he's kind of gotten it going. Mazzara, some of these guys definitely very, very much in play. And then, Yavi Baez, Grossman's been decent against lefties. Eric Haas, a big lefty masher. Scope has been better against lefties and righties. I'm going to have interest in this game, both sides. And I love the leverage we're going to get on the Tiger side against Manaea.
Who?
Yeah, I got a lot of interest in the Padres. I mean, Hutchinson, like you said, not very good. I like the term cheeks. It applies here to Hutchinson. I do like the Padres lineup, how it's actually constructed. I mean, there's upside in there. Cronenworth, Machado, Voigt's back, in there batting fifth. Mazzara, so you get a dirt cheap guy.
I like
that kinda
Alfaro too. He would definitely be in
Alfaro
there.
at catcher, he has some upside. You have guys at the bottom you can even play if you want to get very unique. Trent Grisham, Kim batting ninth. So a lot of ways to stack this Padres lineup. Just looking at this top to bottom, the one guy I probably have the least interest in is Hosmer, but dirt cheap. I mean, 2.5K if you need.
You don't even need him
savings.
though. Voigt, it's
Yeah.
either Voigt or Hosmer at first, but the
Correct,
1400 could go somewhere.
Yeah, if it matters. So I guess long story short, I'd play everyone here on the Padres. For the Tigers, I would be focusing on the home run bats. Javier Baez on FanDuel, he's like 2.6K, very cheap price tag for him. Eric Haas, I like. Scope, interested in. Those would be my three favorites. I think you can play Grossman as well. Like I said, one of those situations where I'm going to play some Mania, but I'm also very interested in playing some bats against him because, man, he hasn't been good this year. But, the argument for him, this is one of the best get right spots in baseball against the Tigers.
Yeah, absolutely. What about nice game on the slate? The Pittsburgh Pirates, Chicago Cubs, Brewer Baker, and Sampson on the mound. Go back to you, Hoop. I'm not seeing too much I'm interested in.
Full fade here for me. 8 total. Wind slightly blowing in. I like Brubaker. I mean, Sampson's not great, but man, it's tough to get behind the Pirates bats. So no bats here for me.
AP.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna trust the Wrigley wins here. I like Brubaker, so it's gonna take me off some of these Cubs. And man, I know the Pirates got O'Neal Cruz and a few others there. It's not enough to get it done for me, so I'm gonna be off of them.
Yeah, if the Pirates beat me today, they beat me. As you said, AP, always on to tomorrow. Next game on the slate, Colorado Rockies, Milwaukee Brewers, Kyle Freeland, and Aaron Ashby on the mound. Ashby is going to get some ownership. If any of you guys can make a case for the Rockies, is a little leverage. Not for me personally. As far as the Brewers, Brew Crew's been hitting a little bit lately. Look at their lineup. There's a lot of different ways to go. The one that always sings out to me, Tyrone Taylor, 3.1K. If I play the Brewers, he's a part of the stack. They're not my favorite today. I think they're serviceable. Their implied total is fine. AP, what are your thoughts in this game for bets?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting. Like, not two pitchers I love, but man, it's like they're okay. They're like not ones that I necessarily want or am excited to target. I'm going to include them, especially the Brewers side against Freeland. I do think Freeland, being outside of Coors, obviously is a little bit of a bump for him. It's tough. I mean, Renfroe right there, I think he's fine. Tyrone Taylor, cheap option. Urias, I think is fine. So I think I see the Brewers being more of like a mini stack for me in this spot. And then with Aaron Ashby, my one concern is like the Rockies, they're not striking out at that high of a clip. But man, I just don't see I do see ownership going up on Ashby a little bit. And so I think on slates like this, I don't mind stacking against that to get some nice double leverage there. So I could see myself playing a few mini Colorado Rocky stacks. This is kind of what I was talking about with five mans. Like, I don't like there's very few like a Detroit 5-man. It's hard to get excited about that. Even a Padres 5-man. That's kind of what I was talking about. Because like when I like to 5-man, it's like I like these teams like like the Braves, like Dodgers and Astros and these teams with the best hitters, even the Mariners a little bit. It's tougher on these spots. So for me, kind of to sum this up, I see the Brewers, Rockies, both sides falling in, a little 3-man type stacks for me.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Ashby. He's been in the negatives a couple times. He's definitely been in the single digits. When stuff goes wrong for him, his control isn't there. 1% on Rockies. They can maybe get there a little bit. Guaranteed ninth inning at bat in Milwaukee Hitters Park. So I'm not going to get there personally, but I think there is worse ways you can go. Rockies, Brewers.
Yeah, so this situation to me is somewhat similar to the Mania situation where Ashby's going to get some ownership. But then you look at this Rockies lineup, like where's the upside in these guys that you want to load up and stack against Ashby? Like, could they pick away and get to Ashby? Yeah, but I think it's going to be mostly like singles, doubles. They just don't have the power in this lineup.
And a great bullpen behind them, so you really got to get to them early.
Yeah, so to me, when I look at the Rockies, it's just CJ Cron as a one-off. Like I don't know. Like if you're gonna stack against a popular pitcher, you want guys that can hit homers. Like where is it? Jose Iglesias is their 5-hitter. Brendan Rodgers cleanup. Daza batting second. Like there's just not upside. Like if Chris Bryant was in here, different situation.
They're expensive too. They're almost all 4K
and
above.
You guys are. If the Rockies beat me, they beat me. You guys talk me off.
This lineup really, I guess, makes me like Ashby a little bit more. I mean, they're going to have to beat him with singles and doubles, I think, based on this lineup. So just Cron as a one-off if you're going that route tonight. But no Rockies for me. I do like the Brewers lineup though. Hunter Renfroe is on a heater. 3 straight games with homers, I believe. 3 straight games with homers. Prior to that, he was hitting as well. Got him in the 4-hole here against a lefty. Love him. McCutchen, Brousseau, super cheap. Now, there was I thought maybe some pinch hit risk, but it looks like Wong's in the lineup too tonight.
I think they still could. You never know with him.
Who's the guy who comes in?
They have multiple. They have Urias and Wong in the lineup right now. I'd have to look quick, but there's always some with him. I'll look at that in the next game.
Just curious. Like if Wong wasn't in the lineup, then maybe
I like almost always, but definitely.
I like him a little bit more now that Wong's in the lineup too against the lefty. I think he has a better chance of staying in, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. 2.5K, super cheap, like Urias, and then Tyrone Taylor at 3.1K, good play. So I'd really focus on the 2 through 7 in this Brewers lineup, but I like him a lot. Hunter Renfroe, one of my favorite plays here.
Yeah, definitely like it for sure. And as Gator Nation said, Rockies bullpen is awful and overworked. Hey, I mean, Brewers have been hitting. Anytime the Rockies are in town, they can help a team turn around. That's for sure. Let's get to the next game on the slate. The Los Angeles Angels, the Kansas City Royals, Noah Syndergaard and Zach Greinke on the mound. Anything you like, AP?
Yeah, I mean, like this Royals team is going to swipe bags if they can get on base against Syndergaard. We saw it last time, a ton of stolen bases. So that's like my main interest in them. But no Bobby Witt, I don't think in this lineup. Definitely hurts this lineup, quite a bit. We're going to get Riviera, Prado, a few of these other guys. It's just not that good of a lineup. And it's 75. I mean, it kind of feels cooler here in the Midwest. It's been so hot. It was 100 degrees all week long. Now it's cooler. 75, it feels pretty cold. Winds blowing in. This feels like, man, I think I'm going to play both of these pitchers. I'm going to have them in my pool. And, the Angels, they got it done yesterday, put up a ton of runs. They did it without Ohtani doing much at all. I'm going to have Ohtani, though, as a one-off here against Greinke for sure in my player pool. But I'm gonna bet against this Angels team, doing what they did yesterday. I think this Angels team, what they love to do is strike out and disappoint everyone, especially their fans outside of Ohtani. So I'm gonna bet against them, and hopefully Greinke can get it done. But I'm gonna play both pitchers in this matchup, and I'm gonna be under on the hitters.
Yeah, I like it. Before I even get to you, Hoop, Land to help me a little bit. I was so confused. I saw Urias, Colton Wong, Brousseau in the lineup, and Jace Peterson's not. Brousseau's at first base today against the lefty. Rowdy is not in the lineup.
Rowdy, yeah.
Because Adames is one in it too. So Brousseau's at first. Rowdy probably is going to pinch hit.
So righty comes in, Brousseau's out. Yeah, so I mean, you're looking at probably 2 at bats for Brousseau.
I mean, he's cheap and it.
Yeah, he's probably gonna get some ownership though because of the price tag.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Len. I was looking at, I couldn't figure it out, but Brousseau's at first. That's where they're gonna go. Thoughts on this game for bets?
Just the steal guys for the Royals, Merrifield, Benintendi. I think they're fine options. I mean, you get on there and you have the ability to steal multiple bases, like the fantasy points can rack up super quick. So it'd just probably be those 2 guys, but nothing else here really for me.
Yeah, definitely gonna be interested in DC's core. I know last time the Royals and the Angels squared off, or when Syndergaard was on it, all in on the Royals, and they put up numbers for sure. Once you walk or get a single, it pretty much turns into a double against Syndergaard. So I like that for sure. That'll be interesting. Let's see what we're at for likes. About 600 watching, 253 right now. We need 300 for the plays of the day. We got a couple games left to break down. Going to get you our top stacks, then the plays of the day. We need 50. Shouldn't be very hard at all. We appreciate if you do hit it. And also hit that big red subscribe button. We always appreciate it. Let's get to the next game on the slate. We're talking about the Houston Astros a little bit. You were AP against the Oakland Athletics. I don't love playing hitters in Oakland, that's for sure. But man, this Adam Oller dude looks absolutely awful. This Astros team guaranteed the 9th inning at bat. There are some big bats we do like in this lineup. I think I'm going to throw away the Parks. I just don't play too many teams, stack up too many teams on the West Coast. I think I'm throwing that out today just because this Adam Oller dude is that bad. Talk to me. Do you like any Astros or any Oakland A's for you as well?
Yeah, I want to see this lineup too for the Astros. I know there's some chatter in Discord about was it Jordan potentially battling some type of injury. I'm not sure if you guys were familiar with that or not.
Yeah, it's
I'd
a
have to go
hand.
back.
He's got
His
the hand is sore apparently.
I mean, I know this guy looks terrible. I hate the park, and if we get no Jordan in there, I would have. That's like so many checks against a
all
team.
red flags. You just couldn't.
All red flags, yeah. And it's like,
but if Jordan's in it, then can you get there?
If Jordan's in, then yeah. I mean, they got plenty of power in here. Altuve's been awesome. Pena's been good. I would definitely include this team, kind of overlooking the park type stuff. But this is one of those spots I want to see a lineup first. It's very difficult for me to make full decisions here without, Jordan's status, because I think he changes a lot, changes the huge dynamics of this Astros offense. So, and then, man, I can't play the A's. They're so bad. The lineup doesn't look good at all. Has me more interested in Odorizzi here, even though he's already seen him 3 times. It's just, man, this is a spot where I'm just like, I'll just give the advantage to the average pitcher and Odorizzi against this very bad Oakland A's lineup.
And as Landon said, Seth Brown is also out tonight, the A's best hitter. Tough scene when you're saying Seth Brown's the A's best hitter, but he actually is. He's a solid hitter, but you got to do it.
Laureano's been better lately, though, right?
I know Seth Brown. Yeah, I mean when we're talking about those two arguing for who's the best player on their team, you're struggling in Oakland when that's the talk. But he's out. So yeah, I mean, I already liked Odorizzi. Gets the bump there. 65 degrees. And then also Andrew said Maldonado hitting like a champ at the moment. I looked at the game log. Yeah, he's hitting the ball a little bit too. I think I probably would include him in my stack for the Astros if I was stacking them. Jordan would definitely look better and make the Astros stack a lot more appealing if he was in there. I don't love teams in Oakland. 65 degrees you don't like. I just think the pitcher's awful, guaranteed the 9th inning at bat. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, very interested in Houston here. I think, a couple reasons. It's a later game, lineup's still not out. I think brings ownership down a little bit. And then the fact that they're in this ballpark as well. But, the guys you want to play for Houston, they have the power to beat these pitcher ballparks. Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, like they can hit with some serious power. Obviously you hope Jordan is in there. Like if he's out, then yeah, it is a downgrade to the Astros overall, but then their ownership comes down too. So it's an interesting dynamic. But I agree with AP. I want to see the lineup here. If Alvarez is in there, they're probably one of my favorite offenses on the slate. If he's out, a slight downgrade, I think, maybe bump him to like a tier 2 offense. But tons of interest in Houston. This pitcher for Oakland is cheeks, as you like to say. And then, the A's lineup definitely gives Odorizzi a little bump here.
Yeah. Next game on the slate, San Francisco Giants, Arizona Diamondbacks, Jacob Junis and Merrill Kelly on the mound. AP, I got nothing. You got anything?
Yeah, I mean, no, like Junis, he's going to go. I mean, man, I don't know if there's anything out there yet, but I highly doubt. Not long, but he's been respectable when he's been out there. So if he's only going 3 to 4 innings max, then you're bringing in the bullpen here. I think it's tough on Arizona. And I like Merrill Kelly. Joey Work sold us on him. So I'm going to be – I wanted to play the Giants, though, against the lefty. We're not getting that. We're getting Kelly, a righty. They've been not as good against righties. So I'm going to be under on this game.
Yeah, the total dropped once the Merrill Kelly was on the mound instead of Gilbert. So I don't have interest. Hoop. Did I already go to in this game? I don't even know.
Yeah,
if I did,
no,
but
you
I know
didn't.
you
But
don't.
I'm fading it, so it makes it easy.
Yeah. Next game, Washington Nationals, the Los Angeles Dodgers, Paulo Espino and Tony Gonsolin on the mound. Hoop, it's not a Friday, it's a Monday. It's still another day ending in Y. Man, these Dodgers are in a great spot today. I mean, I think so for sure. The lineup, very good. We don't have it out yet, but you know the top of the order is going to be there. Usually some cheaper bats in the bottom half of the order. But how do you approach the Dodgers? I think you like them. You're just going to stick to the big guns. There's enough cheap pitching. Would you mind mixing in some of the cheaper ones? Talk about this game.
Yeah, definitely interested in the Dodgers. And it's not a Friday, it's a Monday. They're going to do the job for us on a Monday. The hope is always with these later lineups that they don't come out until a little bit closer to lock or even after lock, and then the ownership comes way down. But I'm playing everyone here. I think great price tags top to bottom. I mean, obviously the main guys are somewhat expensive, but you go to the bottom and you got some cheapies like Bellinger, Gavin Lux. If Thompson's in there, he's only 2.5K. Great lineup to just mix and match top to bottom and have a ton of exposure to Dodgers. They're probably, one of the higher owned teams, or probably the highest owned team on the slate. But again, later game, lineup still not out. People like to wait until the lineup's out to put the guys in. So, the hope is that brings down their ownership a little bit. And then, I'm not playing Nationals on the slate.
Yeah, I'd probably say the Dodgers probably are the highest owned, but it's 11 games and it's not a Coors Field spot or Wrigley win game. I wouldn't worry about ownership too much today. If you like a 5-man stack for bats, play the 5-man. 5% of teams will have a 5-man Dodger stack, maybe something like that. So that's how I approach it. AP, talk about the Dodgers, talk about the Nationals.
Yeah, I love stacking against Paulo Espino. Just guy gives up a lot of hard contact, fly balls. Look at this, like the Nationals. I mean, this dude, they're throwing him out against Philly and then the Braves twice. I mean, he's had a rough going. He limited damage against the Braves, but again, we were talking about it. Like the Braves have started to cool off a little bit while the Dodgers are heating back up. This feels like a hoop slate. It feels like a Dodgers slate. And when I, how I'm seeing this now, like I'm definitely going to be full stacking the Dodgers. I might just take like a big stand on them and go way overweight and then mix and match pitching. We talk about all the time. There's certain slates where we get really concentrated at pitchers, kind of when we have the studs or guys that just always deliver. And then on these slates where there's a lot more volatility at pitcher, but we have certain teams in really good spots like the Dodgers are tonight. We even get the winds blowing out a little bit. It looks like 10 miles an hour to help out the hitters against Espino a little bit. I might take a big stand and just go heavy, very, very heavy on the Dodgers tonight. They definitely feel like one of the best, if not the best stack on the slate.
Yeah, can't argue against that at all. I think that definitely makes some sense. We got one game left on the slate, 6:30 watching, 294 likes. We need 300, 6 more. I know you guys are going to get it done. It'd be cool. Someone mentioned in chat, like a push to 350, Butthole Jenkins. You guys are getting the plays of the day at 300, but I'm going to check back. We have one game left to talk about it. We're going to have the stacks. 350, if I come back and see that, man, I'd be very, very happy. Who might even give out 2 plays? AP, 2 plays of the day if we see a little 350 action. Do us a favor, like button and that big red subscribe button to the bottom right too. We appreciate if you hit that. You'll get notified whenever we go live. If you want to check the premium show, who DC's on tonight, JSU, I believe, is on the show. If you want to check Uncle T's playbook, core plays, all of that, you need to be a member. RPS Heater 25 gets you 25% off. Head over on Peer Sports, check it out. Make sure you get in the Discord. Let's go check the last game on the slate. Texas Rangers, Seattle Mariners. I mean, man, you don't even have Julio Rodriguez in the lineup for the Mariners, which is a little hurtful. I can't get to this team without Rodriguez, without Julio on or at home in Seattle. Don't like playing teams there. It's a cross off for me. What are your thoughts, AP?
Yeah, the Sam Haggerty guy, I kind of like him. 2,300, okay. Batting ninth there. He's done good for me, and no one plays him at all. But he's pesky at the plate. I like him. Cal Relay has always been an absolute stud for me. Like I was really excited for this spot, but I wanted Julio Rodriguez in the lineup. So I'm with you, Title. That's a huge hit to this Mariners team. But this team, I mean, I don't mind them. I'm going to include them in my stacks. I don't respect Glenn Otto at all. And then on the other side too, I think we can stack against Chris Flexen as well. So I'm going to have this both sides of this, more so probably like a 3-man stack, maybe in there with some Dodger stacks, but I like a few bats on both sides of the play here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a really cheap team that you need a 3-man stack, you're already stacking the Braves, paying up a pitcher a little bit. You look at 6 through 9 on Seattle. Frazier, second base, outfield eligible, 2.9. Toro, second base, 2.2. Dylan Moore, outfield shortstop, 2.4. Your boy Haggerty, 2.3. So you can do it. Personally, I'm not getting there. Just, man, Julio Rodriguez not in this lineup definitely hurts. Speaking of Julio Rodriguez, what a show he put on last Monday. That was really cool to watch, but not in the lineup today. Hoop, I mean, their implied total is decent, like 4.6. Can you get there without Julio Rodriguez? What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I mean, I thought you put it quite well. Like, no Julio Rodriguez in this ballpark. It's like, man, I don't think I can get there. I mean, it's still what, an 11. How many games are I say? 11 games. Like
playing one team or playing two. You got Astros and Dodgers on the West Coast. How many teams can you have out there, Hoop?
Yeah. I'm gonna be off Seattle here. The team total is nice, like you said, but I don't see the path. Totally fine picking and choosing. Like, the Haggerty call is gonna be like point something percent owned. Like, no one's gonna be on them.
Just fine. AP and whoever else is watching the show.
I'm telling you, he has been. I got the screenshots. He's always like 0.4. If you're playing multiple lineups, include him in your player pool. I'm telling you, man, the dude he's pesky at the plate.
The game log shows pretty good. I would take some of those scores.
And Raleigh, I'm fine with batting 5th as a catcher. So maybe like a super low own, like 3-man stack or something. But yeah, overall though, I'm not going to be full stacking the Mariners. And then no Rangers for me. I like flexing a little bit here.
Yeah. That is all 11 games on this slate. Pitching, hitting. It's a beast for sure. Not clear chalk in a lot of spots. Hitting especially, but it's a fun one. Greasy, as people like to say earlier, it's a fun greasy one. Big prize pools as always. Let's get into the top 3 stacks, then the plays of the day. Since I already know you guys have crushed that like button, I'll give my favorite. Man, I like these Cleveland Guardians today. Yes, that's assuming the game plays. Don't come back in 4 hours if the game's somehow postponed. You do have to monitor weather a bit. We'll do that in Discord and up to lock. But Fenway, good hitting weather, guaranteed 9th inning at bat. My boy Jose Ramirez always in there. Guardians are my favorite. Give me your top. Let's go top 4 today. There's a lot of options. Let's go 4.
Yeah. I'm on the Dodgers. I like the Dodgers. They will be popular. After the Dodgers, I'll go Houston. And then I'm with you on Cleveland. I do like Cleveland even more. I liked him coming into the show. I like him even more now, just looking at things. You look at Pivetta, man, he has been bad, really bad. And who is there's a Boston pitcher the other day that has been pitching really bad, went out and got rocked with Eovaldi, maybe. I can't remember. It was against
Eovaldi,
yeah. He's wasn't pitching well, continued to just get rocked. So maybe something's going on with their pitching staff, or I don't know. But
that was the day they put up
28 or whatever. Yeah, they scored 28 in Pivetta. So something might be going on with the pitching staff here. I love Cleveland, and then give me the Padres. I think there's a lot of upside now looking at this lineup. So Padres.
I like it. AP top 4 stacks.
Yeah, I'm gonna not include the Dodgers just because that's obvious. So I'm gonna go Tigers against Chalk Mania. I talked about my reasonings there earlier. I like the Orioles quite a bit as well. Man, I'm telling you, like, this just normally I like the earlier games. I usually fade the West Coast games. I feel different about this slate. I think the last time the Rangers and Mariners played, I remember that series just going insane. There's so many runs or potential runs scored, and it was in Texas with the roof closed. So very similar environment tonight. I think that game, full game stack, is going to be really sneaky tonight. If you're multi-entering, I would include it in your stacks.
I like it. Let's see what the likes. 330 likes. We appreciate you smashing the like button for us. Get you the plays of the day right now. I appreciate that, Brian. Hope everything's going well. I appreciate that. Let's get to the plays of the day. Start with mine. The SO play of the day. It's got to come from the Guardians. Going to go with my boy Josh Naylor, 3.9K at first base. Game log looks pretty nice. Josh Naylor right there in the heart of the order. Of course, I'm going to play Jose Ramirez, but that's too easy to say that. I like these Guardians, man. He's got some pop right there next to JSURab. So Josh Naylor, the play of the day. Let's go AP. Give me the gentleman's call of the day, AP.
Yeah, kind of torn on this. I think I got to go with. I mean, I was almost bullied into going Haggerty with the discussion that we were having there, but we don't want to jinx him. So
you already got. You pretty much get two. That was already a freebie I gave you, pretty much. Now you get another one.
Both of these guys are going to be like sub 1.5%. Maybe not. Eric Haas is my other guy. So absolute lefty masher. I just don't see him getting a lot of ownership against Manaea here. But if you're not playing Manaea, I would definitely consider a couple of these like Yavi Bias, Eric Haas, and either maybe a Scope or like a Grossman 3-man stack in your builds where you're not playing Manaea.
I mean, he's 4 or 5 too. No one's going to play. He's probably been one of my favorite catchers to play over the years. He just seems to always get the job done. So I don't mind that if you're not playing Manaea. Rich Parents play of the day. Cap it off for us.
Yeah, one other note, the other Rockies guy that's out is Connor Joe. The lineup just looks super watered down when we're looking at the Rockies. So it's Chris Bryant and Connor Joe. So I think definitely a boost to Ashby. I just wanted to point that out before we end the show. But the Rich Parents play of the day comes from that game. And I was on this guy, before the show, sticking with him. Hunter Renfroe just on a heater. I believe in heaters in baseball. 3 straight games with bombs. Now he gets a matchup with Freeland here, batting 4th. Cheap price tag. I mean, 4.1K. I don't know what his ownership is going to be, and I really don't care. Is more expensive on FanDuel at 3.4. Might keep some people off, but give me Renfroe. Hunter Renfroe is the Rich Parents play of the day.
I'm also with you. Hot streaks definitely do exist. 3 straight homers, lefty master against Freeland. I definitely like that call. We got Eric Haas, Hunter Renfroe, Josh Naylor, the 3 plays of the day. It was a fun show. We appreciate all of you hanging out with us. Love seeing all of you in chat. You guys smash the like button for us, please. Looking to see, you guys did smash the like button. Thank you for that. If you haven't hit it, you want to hit on the way out, we appreciate it. Head over on Pier Sports, get in the live show chat for the premium show. RPS Cedar 25 gets you 25% off. All the content will be up as usual. We're back here 7 days a week talking some MLB. Looking forward to see some RPS logos up top. Good luck, everybody. We'll see you in Discord for AP Hoop Helmet Behind the Sticks. I'm Titletown. Good luck, everybody.